Spectacular deck transformations, and here to show us which ones are the best improvements to add value to your home from Disaster Decks, please welcome the wonderful Paul Lafrance.
I'm just getting my workout.
Wow, I think you trumped everybody else with your preview, with your show and tell.
I carry this around with me everywhere I go.
Okay, well, we got to talk about that in just a second. Okay, season what?
17, 44?
Season
Three.
Three, Disaster.
I forget.
And that's launching at the end of March. That's so great.
It is great.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What did you tell me on Chum FM this morning about why you're in business because you do such a great job, but because what do guys do versus women?
Well, the problem is that most men think that you need to build a humongous deck. And the truth is that sometimes you can have too much deck. And every time, now all the women are laughing, and there are men in the crowd right now going, no, Paul, no, you're not. Sorry, guys, I'm just saying.
Okay, we're going to talk about adding most value, and you brought some pictures in today. Just decking material, just decking. So
yes.
We got a couple of before shots that we're going to show everybody, and I love it when you bring in pictures. I love when you bring in show and tell. So let's talk about that, okay?
Well, I didn't build this.
No, I know. It's the before. It's the before.
So classic male man cave, and I mean, this is just guys going, I need everything that's fun in one small space. And if we look at the decking, so this is a typical pressure-treated decking surface that's been stained every single year, and you have to do it over and over again. So it's not exactly relaxing.
No.
You have to go outside and do all that work.
No, you go outside and you go, you think about your deck and you're going, oh my gosh, I got to fix it every spring.
Yeah.
But if you get this composite stuff, look at that.
There you go.
And that's the same deck?
So this is a product called Trex, and so this is one of the products I use primarily. And so all you're doing with this is you're washing it every now and then like you wash your car, and you're gonna get back let's put it this way. On a square box deck in this product, it could be so boring it makes my eyes bleed. You're still gonna get 90% return on investment.
Yes.
That's the crazy part. So imagine if you throw some creativity into it, your resale value of your house is gonna go whoop through the roof because of the fact that there's not only something creative back there, but it is something that you're not going to have to maintain.
That's right.
And people like that.
They do like that. They do like that. You know what I like? I like what you did too with the railings here. Let's talk about railings. And we got a couple for it. I love the fact that sometimes when you sit down and you're not looking through railings all the time. So let's talk about that.
Well, that traditional builder rail. This is the traditional builder rail with a little extra additive from one of our Disaster Decks homeowners. And he thought chicken wire would be the best thing to do to keep his nephew from falling off of the deck.
Oh.
Which I thought was brilliant and very aesthetically pleasing. So I kicked it up a notch.
Boy, did you ever.
So.
Wow.
Thank you.
But that's right, you're thinking about little kids, right?
And again, so this is an aluminum railing system. It basically bolts right down to the deck surface. So even if you have an existing deck, you can actually take the old railing off, burn it, and then you can put this on instead. And it follows all the safety codes, and it looks really beautiful. And you actually maintain that even less than you will, the composite deck flooring.
Right. Let's talk about what the deck sits on. Is that good footing?
Well, yes, that's what this is.
And
I know everyone was wondering.
And I want you to talk to us about that because I used to, I remember the big cement, like big chunks.
Yeah, so
and they're not doing that anymore?
Concrete has been kind of the go-to for a deck footing pier. So you dig a big hole in the ground, you fill it with you put a sonotube in, and then you fill it with concrete.
Right.
You put a saddle on it, you build a deck on top.
Right.
And that works, kind of, sort of. It's still a go-to way to go if you do it correctly. But this is a product from a company called Techno Metal Post, and this is revolutionary. So I do not build a deck anymore without something like this. So this is a helical pile. So it doesn't matter what your ground is, how bad the frost is, because in Canada, you know how we get frost, that kind of thing?
Yeah, right.
We get that, don't we? And so the ground can move, like frost can move your house, like it's crazy. So the actual sleeve that you see on there, that green sleeve, will move up and down with the frost. But this thing will get, you drill it into the ground, and once this thing reaches the compression rate it needs to, it is never going to move. It'll never be affected by by groundwater. It'll never be affected by hydrostatic pressure and fancy words like that.
Wow. So when you're doing all that, that's not the pretty part, but that's like the most important part of the deck.
It is. Once you
right?
have that in place, then you can put the pretty on top. But if you actually don't have your foundation down, you can build the prettiest deck in the world, and then it'll look like that. Not that one, but
the first one was not so good, but this one's that's great. Now I love the fact that you take this deck and you walk off of it and you go into another section.
Yes.
So that's it's like using your backyard, but not overtaking your backyard.
Precisely. I mean, what a deck is supposed
really
to be,
nice, huh?
in my mind, is a transition from the natural green elements of the yard to the door of the house. And so that transition is your outdoor living space. So, I mean, we call it the deck, but it's an outdoor living space.
That's
it's meant to feel like an extension of your home into the outside with individual rooms that all have a defined purpose.
Yes, and you know what? It's not obstructing the neighbor's yard. You know, it's not all these fences up against one another.
Yes.
You want privacy, you have privacy there. You want to emphasize, to add value to your house, design, design, design. So talk to me about that.
Well, I mean, here's an example of a picture. So this is there's a tiki bar in the back corner. There's a change room on the other side with a hot tub in the middle, and I was not involved with this, nor this.
Yeah.
We've got I want protection from the sun and the rain, so 2 awnings slammed together, pushed against the house. Also not involved.
Right.
Then I came in and took the clutter away and did something that made sense. So now we've got an elegant, singular area where you have the gazebo awning away from the house, which is a great cost-effective way to put something in your backyard without having to spend $15,000 on a gazebo. You have the transition down from the upper level. This has all been based on something that is a difficult design because you're working around something that's pre-existing. I couldn't just pick up the pool and move it over.
Right.
So I have to work around what's there. But most people will go ahead with a project, with a deck, and they just think decking, railing. You will very rarely see me do a deck project that does not have some sort of aerial element to it, because you want to have something that catches your eye from inside the house.
That's correct.
A focal point that draws you in.
It's an extension of your
Exactly.
your house. So you have to. But I also like the fact that because there's no, it doesn't like. I like the way that you can still see through.
Sight lines are so
sight
important.
lines that you can still see through the fence. Okay.
I'm
I mean
a
the
focal
railing.
point designer.
Now, when you come back one day, which you will, we have to talk about lighting.
Yes, we will.
Because that really sets the mood.
I hope
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Thank you, Paul Lafrance. Nice to see you, buddy. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Should I leave this here?
Coming up, Grill Master Diva Q is firing the barbecue back up with a delicious lamb chop dish. That's coming up.